Okay, we are here. It is, what?
7:30.
7:30. The sun is not quite up yet, and we're gonna hike Delicate Arch today and Huff and Puff. And we've got myself, Grace,
The Wimpy Crew.
Lori, Randy, Linda, and James. We have a full house today. Exciting. And here we go. We're gonna watch us Huff and Puff. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Here we are. The sun just came up. We're all still making it.
And this is that hill we saw all those little tiny ants on.
Oh, in the car?
From the parking lot,
Yeah. Here we are, climbing the hill. We've all breathing hard and kicked into granny gear. Pretty close to the beginning of the hike, there is a 550-foot piece of slick rock that you have to climb. So we took frequent breaks. I can't tell you how proud I am to have a daughter who is a park ranger. But having a daughter as a park ranger that gets to guide you within the park is a pretty amazing experience.
Truck is going to be over to the left more, or to the right more.
Oh, okay. You keep destroying all my theories with facts.
It's a balanced rock.
But it is not the balanced rock.
There are lots of balanced, like officially named balanced rocks.
Oh, here's an arch.
Oh, look at that.
Kelly, the lens cap fell off and rolled down the hill. Grace went to get it.
James' lens cap.
Oh, okay.
How far down the hill did you make her go?
Okay.
It's in my pocket.
Okay.
You're not getting back.
Yeah, you don't get it.
You're not getting it back right now because there's a place if you drop it, I'm not going with it. Up here. So, it'll just have to wait a little bit.
That was your one mulligan, I think she's saying. Yes.
When we get back to here, I can give it back to you.
Okay, it's been confiscated.
It has been confiscated. And you'll see why.
It's like the kid just gave Dad a timeout.
And all of a sudden, we're here. Wow. Look at that. How awesome. Excellent. Wow. Once you get to the top, it is like a big bowl. And it was super scary for me because I am totally afraid of heights. I think this photo is really cool with the arch and its shadow. With the magic of Photoshop, I was able to get all the people out.
So Delicate Arch has been called several things, including the Chaps, Mary's Bloomers.
That kind of makes sense,
Some
actually.
other pant-related names. I think they're better names than Delicate Arch. The man who named Delicate Arch named it this because he thought it looked like it had been delicately carved. Landscape Arch, which we'll also see later. People think that one should be called Delicate and this one should be called Landscape. But at some point in time, people think that they also got switched, but they did not, because the man who named Delicate Arch also named Landscape Arch. And he said, oh, a landscape can fit underneath it. Landscape is the largest one in the Western Hemisphere.
So, is he the one that found it?
No, not at all.
Okay, so how did he get to name it? Because usually if you find it, you get to name it.
Yeah, so some of that early arch hunting, names, there was a lot of confusion of names changing, because you didn't have like the internet, you just had some random guy that came out here with a notebook. And this guy just happened to come out here and find a lot of arches, not necessarily just Delicate. And he just wrote it down a lot more, and so that became what was published as the official names and such. There has been a lot of confusion, like the windows in the past were called the spectacles.
That makes sense, actually.
Yeah, and actually even on Google Maps you can see they call it the piece in between the nose bridge. That is, and we still do call it that because that's the spectacles from the past. Yeah, so basically now if you find an arch, you get to name it. But back in the day, it was a little more loosey-goosey. Confusion on what was the Devil's Garden, what was the window section, because you couldn't get a car out here. Even when that confusion was being, like, there was no roads out to here. It was a pretty long hike out to the window section, or out to here.
We waited in line for quite a while, and I was brave enough to go out under the arch. We took a few group shots, and then we headed back down. We were definitely wall huggers on this little shelf. Once you were down off of the shelf, you look up and there is Frame Arch. There was no way I was hiking up there. Lori and Randy felt the same way. We were happy to wait while James, Linda, and Grace climbed up.
Good job, Linda.
Awesome! You can see Delicate Arch.
Oh, cool.
I will say this picture of Grace is my new favorite of her.
You can see out there all those little holes. Those are called tuffoni. The singular one is called a tuffone. These are the rock here is really porous like a sponge. So when you pour water on a sponge, the water comes through it.
Yeah.
That's the sections, that's the holes in the sponge where the water can come through easier because the rock is more porous there. So sometimes during rainstorms you can get water shooting out of these holes, like a rain spout, if there's enough water. They're also basically, that's the start of an arch and that's why we have that here. We have so many arches here because you do get
I got
porous
it.
rock where it shoots out. So that's your fun fact of the minute. And you can see the cross bedding is what it's called, going across this way where that sand dune was. And there's this little line here.
Straight across it.
Straight across. So you're getting a little more technical in geology here. So when this rock was oxidizing, it's actually oxidizing because of the water flowing through it. And the water has electrolytes in it. And as those electrolytes interact with the rock and help oxidize that process, sometimes in the rock there will be certain weird things. So things like a bone or a piece of a dead tree or a little bit of fecal matter from an animal or something like that. And it interacts differently and can sometimes push those electrolytes away and cause it so that it doesn't oxidize in that area. So we get these light colored lines. They oftentimes will look like tree roots or burrows because of that.
After we got our fun facts from Grace, we headed down the trail and off to lunch. I have to say, I still find it a bit surreal that I hiked Delicate Arch, and that I got to do it with great friends and family was all the better. Next week, we'll share more of our journey in Arches National Park with our off-duty daughter/park ranger. If you like our videos, please like and subscribe and leave any comments that you have for us. Thanks. We'll see you next time.